Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking about bike saddles and how to choose the one that's going to work best for you and your bike. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure that little bell icon right next to that is checked off. Then you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of my awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So right into the video, we're talking about bike saddles today. And yeah, I've done a video about bike saddles before and what the difference is between a wide saddle and a narrow saddle and which one you should get. But today we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that because I have a wide saddle and I have both a narrow saddle. So we can talk a little bit more about it and show you guys which one might be the best choice for you. So first off, we're going to start with the good old big saddle or the beach cruiser saddle right here, because this is the one that most people think is going to be the best option for them. So what normally happens to get one of these beach cruiser saddles on their bike is they go buy a new bike, whether that's a big box bike or an entry-level mountain bike or road bike from their bike shop, for their first one in a long time, and they get on and the saddle looks like this and they go, wow, this saddle is so uncomfortable, I just need something more comfortable. And this is what they go to. Is this really the best option for that? The answer is no. If you have a entry-level mountain bike or road bike or anything along those lines, that's a little bit more of an aggressive riding position, this is not your choice. This is not the best option for you. Why is that? So this is, like I said at the beginning, this is also known as a beach cruiser saddle. So I've made videos talking about beach cruisers before, but really it's a beach cruiser, you're sitting in a much more upright position, holding onto the bars like so. With that being said, when you sit up in a more upright position, you can go ahead and do that now. You're sitting in your chair, you kind of sit up a little bit. You notice you move a lot of your weight towards your sit bones on the back. That's why this seat is much more wider in the back. It's made for that certain position to help spread your pressure between the seat versus having it just kind of float in the middle of the air and just on the skinnier saddle. So that's why this seat works very well. Now you might be like, well, this seat's way comfier though. And you're right, this seat is quite a bit comfier. This one's like a memory foam or something, but it is a decently comfortable seat. So the problem with this and a entry-level mountain bike or an entry-level road bike or any of those kind of bikes is once you actually start riding and getting longer distances on it, you're gonna have problems with chafing here. This seat is much wider here, and because it's made for that much more laid-back riding position, it's not made for more aggressive. So when you go into that more aggressive stance, your legs are going to start to rub right in this area here, and you're going to get some chafing, and it's not going to be very comfortable chafing because it's kind of down in that area. So that's kind of the problem with these guys. Now there are more comfortable seats out there, we'll talk about that in a minute, but for a mountain bike or a road bike, any kind of entry-level bike that's not really a beach cruiser style, this seat is not the best option for you. So from there we'll move on to a skinny saddle, a narrow saddle. So this is pretty much what you're going to find on all those entry-level mountain bikes or road bikes. It's something similar to this. Now I will say, I've mentioned this in videos, this is one of the main comfort points on your bike. That original saddle that comes on the bike, probably not going to be the best fit for you. It's a very generic saddle made to be replaced is what it's for. So that's what this is. This was the original seat that came on my Superfly. I'll tell you, this seat lasted, I don't think it lasted at all. I think it came right off. So this seat lasted in the box, and then when I took it out of the box I put my saddle on now, and I've ridden that ever since then. So that's the point with these. What's the deal with a skinny saddle though? What's the deal? Why would I even want a narrow saddle? So the big deal is that aggressive riding position. So anything, a mountain bike or road bike, it's gonna have a little more aggressive riding position to it. So when you're actually pumping and getting down, as you can tell, the difference between this and that fat saddle is quite a bit. There's much narrower nose here, which lets your legs slide by nice and smoothly without having huge chafing issues right in this area. Along with that, when you're in a more aggressive position, you're not putting weight on your sit bones as much. You got a little bit right here, but most of your weight's kind of right in the center section, which is why there's kind of a little bit of a groove or an indent here in the middle to relieve pressure. I've talked about that before. But ultimately, this is going to be the better option for most mountain bikes and road bikes out there. Now, like I said, this seat is the original seat that came on the Superfly, and the original seats, probably not going to be the best seats out there. They're going to be a good starting point, but they're not going to be the best seats out there. So what most companies do that are really into saddles is they'll actually have a measurement based on your sit bones. So bike shops will have a measurement place, will have a pad you can go sit on, and it can measure your sit bones to get you the perfect size saddle there are. Otherwise you can get, have your buddy or your wife or whoever go ahead and take measurements of your sit bones to go ahead and get you that measurement so you can find a comfortable seat. Saddles are going to come in different widths back here on this portion based on your sit bones and how wide those are exactly. That's going to be a big point to that. Obviously your sit bones are going to be right in this area. So you want this saddle to be comfortable on those sit bones because that's where you're going to be sitting for a long time, right? So with having that measurement, you can then go onto that manufacturer's website, go to your local bike shop, and they'll be able to find you the seat that matches your sit bones good, and you'll be able to choose from there. So like I mentioned, that seat doesn't seem very soft, right? It shouldn't be making a knocking sound when I knock on it. So there are much more comfortable seats out there too. There are similar seats and material to this big old beach cruiser seat that are in a smaller seat. The one thing you have to be aware of though is that seat will compress under your weight. So if there's too much compression or too much cushion in that seat and it compresses too much, you're going to run into the same issues of chafing just like you would with a seat like this, because it's going to make it wider, cause chafing with your legs. So you ultimately want something that's going to be this thinner style with a slight bit of padding in it. That's what I run on the Superfly. That's probably about the most cushy seat you could run. I love that one. Too bad they discontinued it, but I love that seat. My road bike seat, actually guys, surprisingly, as thin as my road bike seat is, it has more cushion than this seat here, and that one's actually designed to fit my seat bones and make us like a ride forever and ever. So it works great. So like I said, if you have this original seat here and you got your bike and you're like, this seat sucks, guaranteed you're probably right. This seat does suck and it's not the right seat for you. It does not fit at all. So from there, please, from that point, please don't go buy one of these. Don't go buy one. It's not what's needed for your bike. This is not going to help you in the long run. It's a very short-term solution that'll ultimately hurt you in the long run. Don't buy this. What you want to do is you want to find a nice quality seat that follows the same designs as your original seat, however fits your seat bones, fits your cushioning a little bit better, and that ultimately is going to be the better option for you. Of course, there's going to be some adjustment to sitting on a saddle in the first place. That's not going to be super comfortable if it's been a long time since you've ridden a bike and rode on a bike for a long time. But ultimately, this size saddle is what's going to work better for you in the long run. So hopefully you guys learned something from my video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love answering any questions you guys have. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.